In one of the largest cities in the country stood a massive medical complex known as Grand Unity General Hospital. It was not just a hospital, it was a final destination. People came there when all hope elsewhere had failed. Ambulances arrived day and night, sirens cutting through traffic, carrying lives balanced between breath and silence. For many families, reaching Grand Unity meant one thing: this is our last chance. Among the hundreds of doctors who worked within its white walls, one name inspired unusual comfort: Dr. Samuel Hargreaves. Dr. Samuel was known for his calm presence. His voice was gentle, his smile steady. He had a way of placing a hand on a patient's shoulder that made fear feel manageable. Nurses trusted him. Junior doctors admired him. Patients spoke of him as the kind one, the doctor who listens, the man with a good heart. No one questioned him. No one imagined that behind his clean lab coat and compassionate eyes lived a darkness carefully hidden for years. Dr. Samuel specialized in cardiac emergencies. Whenever a patient was rushed in with severe heart complications, especially those without influential relatives or financial backing, his name would appear first on the file. "I'll take this case," he would say calmly. "Let me handle it." The staff never objected. In fact, they felt relieved. If Dr. Samuel was in charge, chances were higher, or so they believed. What the hospital staff, the families, and the city itself did not know was that Dr. Samuel had built a second life beneath his first. A secret one. When a patient's condition deteriorated, when machines beeped slower, when eyes fluttered weakly, when death felt close, Dr. Samuel made his move. In those moments, away from cameras, buried under emergency protocols and controlled chaos, he would do the unthinkable. He removed hearts, not for saving lives, but for selling them. The hearts went to a hidden network of powerful individuals, wealthy men and women who believed money could buy eternity. Politicians, underground figures, foreign elites, people who never waited on transplant lists, people who did not ask where a heart came from, only whether it was strong. And Dr. Samuel supplied them. The hospital records always told a simple story. Cause of death: cardiac failure. No autopsies were requested. No investigations pushed forward. Poor families rarely questioned medical reports written in complicated language. Grief does not argue with authority, it obeys it. And so the deaths piled quietly. A father who never returned home. A young bride widowed within months. A child buried before learning to write his name. Years passed. The hospital grew, donations increased. Dr. Samuel was promoted. His reputation hardened into legend. But even monsters are not born without scars. Long before Dr. Samuel became a doctor, before the white coat and controlled smile, he had been a boy from a broken home. His parents died young, leaving him and his younger brother, Ethan, to the mercy of the foster system. Ethan was different, fragile, quiet. He had a congenital heart condition that required constant care. Dr. Samuel, still a teenager then, became Ethan's protector, his shield against the world. But protection costs money, and money was something they never had. One night after a long wait in a crowded public hospital, Ethan collapsed. The doctors tried. The machines screamed, but no heart was available, no donor arrived, no miracle came. Ethan died holding his brother's hand. That was the night something inside Samuel broke permanently. From that day on, he believed the world followed one rule only: those who can pay live, those who cannot disappear. So he learned, he studied, he climbed. And when he finally gained access to operating rooms, transplant procedures, and emergency authority, he rewrote the rules in his favor. He told himself lies to survive. "I'm not killing them," he thought. "They were going to die anyway. I'm giving meaning to their deaths. This is how the world works." And for a long time, the lies worked. Until one afternoon, when an ambulance arrived carrying a small boy. The child could not have been more than 10 years old. Thin, poorly dressed, his shoes were worn, his clothes faded. He had been brought in for what appeared to be a minor injury, an accident on the street. Nothing serious. Dr. Samuel glanced at the chart, uninterested at first. Then he saw the name, and the blood drained from his face. The boy's surname matched his own. A coincidence, he told himself. But when he looked closer, really looked, his hands began to tremble. The shape of the boy's eyes, the curve of his mouth, the familiar dimple on his left cheek. Dr. Samuel stepped back as if struck. This was not just any child. This boy carried the blood of the brother he had lost. Ethan's son, a nephew he never knew existed. The boy's heart was strong, perfect, healthy. And for the first time in years, Dr. Samuel felt fear, not of being caught, but of himself. That night, sleep refused him. The hospital lights haunted his thoughts. The beeping machines echoed like accusations. Faces of the dead, faces he had buried under paperwork, returned to him one by one. For the first time, his smile cracked. And in that crack, the truth began to bleed through. Unbeknownst to him, someone else had begun to notice patterns as well. A young female doctor, only 25, recently transferred to the cardiac unit. Intelligent, observant, quiet in meetings, but sharp in thought. Her name was Dr. Lena Morris. She noticed things others ignored. Timing, missing data, files that never reached review. And she had started asking questions. Questions that would soon bring Dr. Samuel's empire of silence crashing down. But that reckoning had not yet arrived. For now, the hospital slept. And so did the secret. Dr. Samuel arrived at the hospital before sunrise the next morning. For the first time in years, he did not feel powerful walking through the automatic glass doors. The familiar smell of antiseptic no longer brought comfort. Every step echoed too loudly, as if the walls themselves were whispering his crimes back to him. His nephew, the boy, had been admitted for observation, nothing life-threatening. Yet Dr. Samuel had personally ensured he was placed under strict monitoring, disguising his concern as professional caution. From the hallway, he watched the child sleep. The boy's chest rose and fell steadily, strong rhythm, a perfect heart. Dr. Samuel felt something unfamiliar tight inside him. Guilt. He had removed hundreds of hearts. He had convinced himself that death was already waiting for those patients, that he was only choosing where their hearts would end up. But now, standing before blood of his own blood, the lies collapsed. If Ethan were alive, he thought, would I have done this to another man's child? He turned away abruptly. Across the cardiac unit, Dr. Lena Morris reviewed files at her desk. She was young, but not naive. Since joining the hospital, she had noticed an unusual pattern. Patients under Dr. Samuel's care had a significantly higher mortality rate during critical windows, always written off as unavoidable. She had raised the issue once during a staff review meeting. "It's probably coincidence," a senior consultant had replied. "Dr. Samuel handles the worst cases," another added. Lena said nothing more, but she did not forget. That morning, she noticed Dr. Samuel standing, unusually still outside a patient's room. Watching, not working. She followed her instinct. Later that day, Lena requested access to archived patient records under the guise of research. She stayed late, long after most staff had left, scrolling through years of data. Names, ages, causes of death. Something was wrong. Patients declared dead from cardiac failure showed inconsistencies. Missing surgical timestamps, unexplained delays, altered medication logs. And always Dr. Samuel's signature appeared at the bottom. Her pulse quickened. This was no coincidence. Meanwhile, Dr. Samuel tried to return to routine. He smiled. He issued instructions. He performed surgeries with flawless precision. But something inside him had shifted. Every time he passed the child's room, his chest felt heavier. That evening, the boy woke and asked for water. Dr. Samuel entered quietly, surprised by his own hesitation. "Uncle," the boy asked softly, reading the name on his coat badge. The words struck him like a blade. "Yes," Dr. Samuel replied, his voice barely steady. "I'm here." The boy smiled. "My dad used to talk about you," he said. "He said you were smart, that you saved lives." Dr. Samuel turned away, unable to meet the child's eyes. Saved lives. That night, Lena made her first mistake. She copied files onto a personal drive. She did not know the hospital system flagged unusual data transfers. And she did not know Dr. Samuel still had access to administrative alerts. At 2:17 a.m., his phone vibrated. Unauthorized file access, cardiac unit records. His heart slammed against his ribs. He knew what this meant. Someone was close. The next morning, Lena noticed Dr. Samuel watching her. His eyes lingered longer than necessary. His smile felt forced. She felt a chill. Still, she continued. She cross-checked patient names with public death registries. Some families had requested independent examinations, requests that mysteriously disappeared. She found a trail of blocked forms, unsigned approvals, delayed reviews, every blockage ending where Dr. Samuel's authority began. She contacted a former forensic pathologist anonymously. The response was immediate. If what you're seeing is real, the message read, "This is organ trafficking." Lena's hands shook. She was not imagining it. The hospital she trusted was bleeding from the inside. 2 days later, Dr. Samuel requested a private meeting with Lena. "My office," he said politely. The door closed behind her with a soft click. "I've noticed your dedication," he began calmly. "You're thorough, curious." "Thank you, sir," Lena replied, carefully neutral. "Curiosity can be dangerous in a place like this," he said, still smiling. "Not everyone appreciates questions." Silence stretched between them. Then Lena spoke. "People are dying unnecessarily," she said, "and the records don't add up." For the first time, Dr. Samuel's smile vanished completely. "You should drop this," he said quietly, "for your own good." Lena stood. "I won't," she replied. That night, she sent copies of the files to an external investigative body. Not gossip, not rumor. Evidence, names, dates, anomalies, and the hospital's hidden digital fingerprints. By morning, the city would wake up to a nightmare. Dr. Samuel sensed it before it happened. Police arrived at the hospital before noon. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just enough to be final. They escorted him from the operating wing in handcuffs. Nurses stared, doctors whispered, patients watched in disbelief. The kind doctor. The hero. The man everyone trusted. As he passed the child's room, he stopped. The boy looked up, confused. "Are you leaving, Uncle?" he asked. Dr. Samuel swallowed. "Yes," he whispered, "but I hope you live." In court, the evidence unfolded relentlessly. Records, transactions, testimonies. The hidden network was exposed piece by piece. Silent buyers, secret intermediaries, coded payments disguised as consultations. Lena testified calmly, clearly, refusing to turn away from the weight of what she had uncovered. Dr. Samuel said nothing. When the judge delivered the verdict, the courtroom fell silent. 30 years imprisonment. No appeal. As they led him away, Dr. Samuel felt no anger. Only exhaustion. And a strange, quiet relief. The truth had finally found him. But the story was not over yet. Because prisons have their own hearts. And some never stop beating.